Mark, welcome back. First of all, a quick word on the weekend away from football and the charity exploits of one of your mates. How did you make it? What did you make of it over the weekend? I know you and Liam chatted about it last week, but now it's happened and Marcus has done it. How did that feel?
Yeah, good. Obviously, we spoke to him over the weekend, and him and his wife, and we were coming back on the coach from Braintree, and it came on Sky Sports with the interview and showing them doing the walk, and all the boys were made up, that they'd got it done, and Stewie was on the telly and doing an interview, so it's quite apt actually when we were on the bus coming back. So great achievement and great cause.
Were you amazed by the amount of people there, or did that not really come as a shock to you?
No, I was amazed when I actually saw when they were at Anfield and it showed the actual people walking in behind. It was an incredible amount, and it just shows how many people that disease has touched, and the cause of trying to find a cure, which I'm sure they will over the next few years. And
everyone at Yeovil Club and fans from the look of social media are very proud of him.
No, we love him to bits.
Away from that and looking back towards what you're driving back, good to get the win against Braintree and great to have the clean sheet as well.
Yeah, well, we've kept 16 clean sheets in the league now, so it's a great regard action, and against a team that were 14 unbeaten, I'm sure there wasn't many that fancied us going there. After losing a couple of games, it was a doom and gloom everywhere, but not inside the building. And we went and gave a real structured, detailed, solid performance that got us 3 points.
In terms of the performance itself, that goal for Frank, being the first he's had for a few weeks, what will that mean for him going forward? Are you hoping it's the start of a bit of a run for him?
We don't have to worry about Frank. He's does what he does. He comes alive. Big games he comes alive, and he led the line brilliantly on Saturday and got us the winning goal.
2 games in the space of 4 days here, starting off at Hewish. Looks like already there's going to be about 4,500 people here. What's that like when you're at home with that sort of atmosphere? Those number of people.
I think it only works if you play well. It can work the other way if you don't, because it becomes tense, doesn't it? So we need to be on the front foot. We need to do what we do really well and give our fans something to cheer about. We're looking forward to it. Looking forward to the weekend. 2 great games for us. Couldn't have picked them any better, I don't think. Torquay and Weymouth, loads riding on the game. Certainly the Torquay one, both ends of the table. And the Weymouth one, they're safe, but won't want their local rivals doing very well. So great games. They take care of themselves. I know the players will be up for it, and other supporters will be up for it.
Looking towards Torquay itself, you and I spoke before about when they were going through the difficult period of the club behind the scenes. Gary Johnson subsequently left. What have you made of them over the last few weeks since the changes came in?
I don't think they've actually gone into administration, have they?
No.
Yeah, so I don't know how that works. I don't know what that means. So they've all been paid, I think, haven't they? So they've said that they've got money to pay the players and staff, which is great. I don't think it will affect the players on the pitch. I think as a player, you just want to play. If you know you're getting paid, you just want to play. So the interim manager, Aaron, will have them well organised like they were against Hampton. They had to withstand an awful amount of pressure in the second half and defended really well. And when you look at their starting 11, really experienced, solid 11, and they have Jarvis to come back in as well to that. So it's a tough game, but we're really looking forward to it.
And Weymouth is an away day, like you just said. The away fans, well, the home fans there will be looking to nick one off of you and potentially hold up that title trophy winning moment.
Of course, yeah, and I'm sure their manager and players will be wound up to not let us win, and that's football. That's how it should be. And I know that we're taking hordes of fans there, and just looking forward to seeing that green and white and seeing the occasion really. And again, professional head on. We just want to go and get the job done.
In terms of squad depth, you've been tested in the last few weeks. We've spoke before about you quite liking having the small squad. you've got a few more players missing now. Any updates ahead of the next 2 games as to who might be back and who's definitely not going to be around?
No, there's no update. Nothing's changed. Murphy and Smith are back in training, but it will be too soon for them to come back in. Alex Whittle's out until pre-season. But I think if you took any team's 2 frontline fullbacks and their 2 main strikers that you spent all your money on, if you took them out of any team, then people would get a pass and an excuse for not being as on form as we expected to be, but not us. We don't get that, and we understand that, and we don't moan about it. We just get on. We never moan about injuries. A lot of clubs do. We've had to find a different way. So have we been as scintillating? And no, but we've lost 4 massive players. So we've had to find a different way as a staff and as a group of players to still keep us competitive. We've added a couple of players that have given us a little bit of a lift. So, yeah.
How big a blow was it to lose Alex, and also for him as well to not be able to finish the season off?
Yeah, massive for him, because he's been a real stalwart there at the back. He's a top player at this level. But we're lucky that we've got Jay Fulston to step in as a calm replacement. But yeah, big miss for Alex, but luckily we've just found out today that it doesn't require surgery, and they're going to let it heal naturally, which is a real big bonus for us and for him. So yeah, big miss, but football.
Chance for other players to step up.
Of course.
Well, good luck for the next 2 games.
Thank you.
So Mark, great to speak to you again. Many fans have seen this weekend as being quite significant from the very start of the season when the schedule came out. Have you had it in the back of your heads perhaps that this could have been a promotion weekend, a derby double-header, and does that sort of excite you and the team as well?
No.
Nothing at all?
No, we just got to win the game.
Yeah.
I keep talking about it. We're not. If I think about, well, if we do this there, that might happen there, and if they don't win there, it never happens like that. So all we can do is do what we do, and that's try and get 3 points in both games. And if we do, great. And if other things happen, great. But we have to. If we step away from being focused, we run the risk of maybe that happened. We lost a little bit of focus. Obviously, big injuries, but we lost a bit of focus, and we're looking too far ahead. Every day is about the day, being present in that day, and this week has been about training and being the best we can every day. So today was about today, and then we'll deal with Saturday when it comes, and then we'll deal with Monday when it comes. That's not me being horrible, boring. It's just stating how it has to be.
We've had one of the more sort of settled back lines this season. Obviously, it's kind of felt expected at points. It's gone Day, Smith, Warner, Williams, Whittle. With those injuries obviously being impacted, we've had to ask the likes of Jay Fulston and Brooklyn Genesini to sort of step up, and they both performed really well being asked to step in. How impressed have you been with them, and is there any thoughts on their futures for maybe next season? Obviously, Fulston's got that option for a permanent deal in the summer.
First of all, been very impressed with both of them. We kept 2 clean sheets. It still takes time to bed them in terms of how we play going forward. Obviously, Mike Brooklyn's coming in to replace an international, a crowd favourite who just so calm in everything he does. But he's done great. And Jay, very calm, played centre half, played left back. But again, we're not looking at that far ahead, just looking at the present moment and now, and getting them prepared as we can for Saturday.
Jordan Stevens travelled on Saturday with the squad. Of course, he wasn't involved with the squad at all, though. Was that simply a case of resting, or is there any potential injury concern involved in that? Just sort of managing his minutes? No injury concern. He hasn't done enough. You know, we look at who's performed well in training and when they've played in the games, and there was players in front of him on Saturday that had done a bit more than him in the times that he'd come on and in training. So maybe a kick up the backside for Jordan that he's got to get going. We touched on that sort of big match experience, obviously big crowd expected for Saturday, a big travelling contingency for Monday as well. How much of a benefit is having that sort of big match experience of playing in front of big crowds here every week? How much does that sort of benefit you as a team and as a manager as well? Does it spur you on?
Yeah, I think you want to be playing in front of big crowds, don't you? I think what that does is you don't have to worry too much about the players being up for it. Sometimes when it's quiet and it's not as big a crowd, it can be a little bit laid back. So we know that we can't step off the gas 1 minute in the next 2 games, and we know that the fans will be driving us on. Certainly at home against Torquay and at Weymouth, there's going to be a massive following there. It'll be like a home game, and we just want to do really well for them.
And obviously looking ahead to Friday as well, a home game as well. We've had a variety of surfaces we've played on this season, obviously some artificial, some interesting grass surfaces as well. How impressed have you been with the condition of the Hewish Park pitch? Of course, it's held up quite well even during that run of home games at the start of the season.
Yeah, I think we had an amazing amount of home games in a small piece of time that did some damage to the pitch, and once that happens, it's hard to get it back during the winter. But the groundsman, Matt's done really well, and considering that we didn't spend hardly any money on it last season because Martin hadn't taken over in time for the renovation, so the groundsman's done really well, and I'm sure it'll be looking really nice for Friday, and once we get to the end of the season we can do a proper renovation on it.
And back to the sort of footballing side of things, with Joe Day and the defence having, as you mentioned, the joint most clean sheets in the league, how much work goes into making a team so defensively solid, especially considering last season where we couldn't really stop conceding goals?
Yeah, well, it's a balance when you want to play football like we do, to marry both together, being an attacking team and having a solid defensive unit takes a lot of work. Your structure behind the ball has to be nearly perfect to stop counter-attacks or defend big moments, and I think that's what we've done really well. When it's really mattered, we've defended big moments, and that's what you have to do to get clean sheets and to get one at Braintree. Like I say, 14 unbeaten takes some doing with the firepower they've got, and at Slough, who are 19 unbeaten at home. So full credit to the boys, but it takes an awful lot of work to make sure that we are really solid. But over the last few games we've not been as fluent going forward. But when you lose a couple of games, that can affect the confidence, and you start off then by saying, right, let's make sure we get a clean sheet so we know we're going to get a point, and anything else after that is a bonus, and that's what's happened in the last couple of games.
And finally, obviously, looking to Friday, a lot has changed at Torquay since we last faced off, with the manager, high squad turnover, and even the owners nearly changing place as well. Does that potentially impact any preparations you have, as you've got nothing to really work off from the previous game? Or are you just keeping an eye on recent results and kind of working from that?
No, they have a strong base to their squad of really good, experienced players, and looking at their last couple of games, they will play them players depending on if they're fit. So we have an idea of a group of players that will play in what formation. Of course, we won't know until we get the team sheet. But you look at Dean Moxey, fantastic player for Torquay, the top career. Asa Hall, Kevin Dawson, Lapsley, all these kind of players are really experienced players, and we know that if they're fit, they're going to play, and they'll be desperate to come here and get something. So we have to fully respect that, which we do, and make sure that we give everything we've got and we try and get a result.
Lovely. Good luck for the weekend.
Thank you very much.